Yay, what's up? Oh, we're online. How you doing out there in YouTube land and the land of Rumble? I'm Von B, your host, and this is the Noob Avenger, and we are the UN podcast. Ricky has decided that I have played that a little too much, so
What
he
up?
feels
What up?
he feels that is getting played out. All right, so while we wait for him to get his computer situated, all right, we're gonna talk about this. All right, if I can see my face, my computer don't start tripping. That is this is a Hollywood reporter, and if the cable television business is dying, and since we're going to talk about TV, I might as well what the hell? All right.
Nice transition.
No, I'm trying to close all these. Like my computer is chugging because all these damn
Ads.
like you see how this thing is trying to load this ad and it keeps tweaking back and forth, so I can't freaking close it. So every time I close it, what the hell, dude? All right, well, whatever. I do not care about. And it literally will not let me close it. Wow. All right.
Wow.
The cable TV business is dying. Is it worth saving? And it popped up. All the ads popped back in. And
Nice.
right, Comcast is considering a spinoff its cable channels into publicly traded company. It is a roll up of misfit cable brands next. Comcast Corp opened its latest earnings call with a surprise announcement. The Brian Roberts run media giant was weighing whether to spin out its cable TV channels into a separate, well capitalized company that would position them to take advantage of opportunities in the changing media landscape. Was Comcast testing the water? Sure. Comcast president Mike Cavanaugh made it clear that the company was just beginning to look into the idea and was far from making a formal decision. One thing became clear: Wall Street seemed to like it. Comcast shares surged when the market opened and closed up to 4% on an otherwise down day for Wall Street. Comcast News seems to make waves across the entire industry, with Warner Brothers Discovery shares also surging, Disney and Paramount also inching up. In fact, on a day when most of the entire market was down, media and telecom segments were up. Spinoff will be a very welcome development. Are they going to actually tell us what it is? Investors have yearned for exactly this, or at least something close to it for years. Why the enthusiasm? Comcast, which is a larger exposure to the cable TV business, and subsequently lost more paid TV subscribers than its rivals over the past year, may be a harbinger of the future, a world where many desperate cable channels, now unwelcome in the balance sheets of companies that own them, could find a home where they are a center of attention and would have more freedom, flexibility to make strategic moves. Are you going to actually tell us what the damn shit is? Perhaps most significantly, a spinoff company would become a land of misfit networks, a place where unwanted cable channels could find a place to belong, or at least strength in numbers. Paramount Global, for example, has a slew of well-known cable brands like MTV, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, but the incoming owner, Skydance, appears to be laser focused on streaming and broadcast because that is what young people watch. They do not watch cable television. Warner Brothers Discovery has a strong cable portfolio that includes TBS, TNT, CNN, Food Network, HGTV, Cartoon Network, but has had to take more than a $9 billion impairment charge connected to its channels. All right. So what the hell is this thing? All right. Which floated the possibility of pursuing some sort of moves as linear channel last year before backing off. Appears out of the mix. So it's like, well, are they going to just lump a bunch of channels together and hope for the best? Hope that
Oh no, they
somehow,
didn't.
some way, really
They
say
didn't
what
talk
the
about
hell.
what channels would be on it, or
Well,
even
it
what
sounded
kind of channels would be on it.
from it seems like the ones who are getting the least amount of,
Of love.
I guess, and they're just gonna lump them into spinoff, like spinoff of what? Ki- Children are not watching cable television. Period. You can spin it around, and you know what this is? This is a bunch of boomer dudes who are trying to make that cash cow last a little bit longer, and it is just not going to do it.
Too little, too late.
Well, yeah, and I've said this to many people about, if you want to know what the future brings, go look what a 15-year-old or like between 10 and 15-year-olds what they're doing. And that'll tell you what the future is coming to.
Brain rot.
Well, it's not necessarily brain rot. It is more like, all right, so how do they get their entertainment? Fortnite, like it's video games, it's clips on YouTube, TikTok, that kind of thing. TV is not one of those things. It's like oh my godson, he watches shows. Doesn't care where the show is. He'll just watch it. Something that interests him, Netflix, Crunchyroll, YouTube, that kind of thing. He'll get interested in the show and watch all of the episodes. He watched all the Simpsons, like 30 years of television, and
Dang.
Well, to be frank, it is more on in the background.
Oh yeah, as
Like,
opposed to like
right.
intense watching.
Yeah, so he'll look at it, then he'll go off and do other stuff. But this is when he was a little bit younger. So, but it'll be on the background. So every episode is like 22 minutes, 25 minutes. So it just back. So it's all day. So you can watch like a bunch in a day. And this is a lot of times during like summer, that kind of thing. But I'm not, like, if you look, that's just kind of how it is. They're not watching linear television. So I don't know who they think that they're going to, because they're not going to charge. It's not like it's going to be cheap. It's like, you know what I think where they screwed up at, to be honest, is when they stop being niche channels. It's like when all the channels turn into the same thing. It's like MTV used to play music. Like if you wanted to watch the health channel, it was like health stuff.
If you wanted to watch reality TV, it was like on E and
right. It was there, and then you had like arts and entertainment. You learn about like composers and artists from the past and all that stuff. And then the reality TV kicked in. They got bought out by the same friggin' like corporations, and it is still sticking Honey Boo Boo on the A&E channel, and then like showing cops, and it's like no, you have a reality channel. You stick all that stuff on there, so if anybody wants to watch that, then they'll watch the reality channel. It's like if I want a home improvement, DEI, then I know what I'm looking for, and it was a bunch of niche channels. So it's like those programs necessarily, they don't have to make that much money, but if you don't put that much money into it, then you can eke out a little bit of a profit from the various commercials and whatnot.
I think that is the problem too. When you mentioned A&E, yeah, they have like the plethora of shows. You're right. They have cops on there, things like Honey Boo Boo. They have sitcoms. They have like random gag and skit shows. I'm like, what is this channel?
Right, but it used to be arts and entertainment. So it's like you would find out about composers, and it would be like like trips to museums, stuff like that. So you would learn about the arts part. But
I did not know that's what A&E meant.
Yeah, arts and entertainment. Yeah, so and it's like back when it was a niche, back when it was a small channel on cable network, and I don't know. I guess corporations aren't that interested in niche anymore, which is weird because that's basically what everything eventually turns into is niches.
So true.
And that's essentially what YouTube is. It's a giant niche channel where you get to control what niche that you are interested in.
That's true. I'm sure if you open up your YouTube, my YouTube, anyone else's YouTube, it would look our videos to watch would look so different.
Right. My mother watches people build little houses in the middle of the forest and whatnot because she finds it interesting. She watches that. She watches like Africa. Like there's a channel that shows African movies.
Oh, see, exactly.
Right. It's funny that they got away from the niche thing on cable television, which eventually I probably think killed cable television because everybody went to the giant niche thing. That's TikTok and all that stuff. That's all that shit is whatever interests you. And the computers, algorithm is better able to cater to whatever your interests are than cable can. So I don't know, dude. All right. I'm trying to because there was a couple of stuff that he was interested in talking about, so I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. Well, okay, we can talk about this. He's this they had a game that came out fairly recently called Dragon Age. And it's like woke as get. So let's get into a little bit of gaming. Next level. I have a couple of articles about this game. And what's funny is that with this stuff, because like games take a long time to come out, right? So it's like 3 to 4 years. So you can start a project. So stuff that is not so companies have realized right now that this woke stuff is not selling. So therefore they will adjust their stuff. So in about 3 or 4 years, you'll get like the games that people actually kind of want. So what we have now is a bunch of games that were greenlit in 2020, 2021, that kind of stuff. Some of them are like 2018, 2016. Because like some of these games take like 6 to 10 years for them to make it.
It sounds like purgatory.
Well, I mean, the reason why it takes that long is because it changes. So you start off, you're doing this, and then someone in the company decides, you know what, we need to do like this instead. So all the stuff that they worked on for the last 2 years gets chucked out the window, and they start all over again.
Oh.
And then they start all over again, and they start all over again. And we're so far from the way games used to be when I was a kid, where it was just like a little fun thing. It's like Epic, the creators of Fortnite, one of their first games was this Jazz the Jackrabbit game, where you was like a little rabbit dude and you run around. It was like a side scroller game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of their first games, and then they make like another one. It was like a little kid, so it was that kind of stuff. But it
Wow.
was well, I mean, side scroller games were pretty popular, and it's because this is got to be at least 25 years ago or something like that. So it was a while ago.
Oh.
So yeah, but that's what games were, and they were like little cotton candy stuff. You play it for like it has like 20 levels or something. The level design is fairly, like Mario. The level design is fairly the same, but you change the background here, you change the background there, that kind of thing. But you can crank that out fairly quickly, and if you have a good gameplay loop, people will like it. Because like if you go look at Doom, it's basically the same thing. You just go through the level, killing all the monsters, and you go to the next one.
True, but it works.
Right, because the gameplay loop works.
Yeah.
And it's not complicated.
Yeah.
This stuff they're making complicated as hell, man. It's like
Gone
you
are
don't
those
really
like
need
those pick up and play days.
Well, they still have games that are like that, and
Exist, yeah.
all right. So this year you had Black Myth Wukong. Essentially, the gameplay loop is you go from one section to another section. You is a bunch of boss battles. You kill all the bosses, just like Elden Ring was the exact same thing. You go from one layer, like level, and then you go down to another level, and that the scenery changes, but essentially is boss battle after boss battle after boss battle. Stellar Blade, same thing. Um, so all the stuff that is like really super popular, if you break it down to the essence of the game, it is a very simple concept. Go here, kill everything over here. All right, go to the next thing, kill everybody over there. That's about it.
Yeah.
So I don't. So they keep adding all this stuff, and like somebody brought up the fact that a lot of these games seem like therapy sessions for the people who make them. Well, it's like they're working out whatever issues that they have in their head. So they put it out, and then it's like, I don't want to play this, dude. It's like the last Zero Dawn. I was talking with my roommate about this. The last Zero Dawn Horizon game. It's like the games used to be where, like Mass Effect, they had elements in it for you can have a same sex romance if you want to. You just go purposely pursue the person of your same sex, right? And but they had one who actually the way the race worked is there's only females, and then the way that they make more of them is they get mates from other species, and it doesn't have to be a guy, the male version of that species. It could be a female version of that species, and it still will
Oh,
be able to make. No, it's just the way that the species works, right? So it's all women. This is the entire species is all female. So when they have children, their genes are so strong that it takes over the whatever the the donor genes are, I guess. So their non whatever parent can be whatever, but the kid that they have will be one of them.
oh, okay.
So you can like your shepherd can be the male shepherd or the female shepherd, and if you chose that person, it didn't matter, but you'd have to pursue it, right? So if you didn't pursue it of the same sex, then you didn't get those options because you didn't like do that, and that's what Bioware used to be like. Whereas like, hey, if you want to like, it's in there. If you want to go that route, it's in there. If you don't, you want a straight heterosexual relationship, interspecies or whatever,
It's in
that
there too.
well, it's not shoved in your face, right? So I'm
Hmm.
playing Horizon Zero Dawn, playing the DLC. The character they decided to put as your basically your sidekick in the game, she is Uber Woman. She can do all the stuff that like you are the descendant of the person who was responsible for a lot of the stuff in this universe. Like she like all the robots and all that stuff in space is like this super genius, right? So
Hmm.
your character is basically the reincarnation from like a machine is like I'm trying to remember how I can say this. All right, not a necessarily a backup plan, but like if stuff goes left and you need to fix stuff, like a cycle, they'll recreate her, and that's who you are. So you just kind of popped out of this machine, and you had to deal with people treating you weird because that happened because you had unorthodox birth. All right.
Hmm.
All right. So in the first game, I guess you can romance people. You can't, or you don't have to, or whatever. It's just like it's options, like dialogue options. So if you never saw this stuff because I didn't romance anybody. So you know, I didn't go that route with anybody. But in the DLC, they decided that this character is gay, right? So not only they decided that this character is gay, they decided to. I'm sitting there having a conversation with the superwoman who's just better, good at everything for some reason. And then the way the conversation is going, and I'm sitting there, is like, and I'm noticing that we're on the beach. We're sitting on this like tree thing that's on the beach. It's a nice little sunset, and they're having this heart to heart conversation. And in the middle of it, I realize, I'm on a date. What, like, why am I? They decided that they're gonna in the DLC that I'm gonna be on the date. I'm like, I don't want to be on a date. I just want to kill like the monsters. If somebody else wants to be on the date, they can do the amount of dialogue options that they need to do to go that route. I didn't do that, but they decided that I was going to go on a date anyway. So I'm like, so as soon as that happened, I'm like, all right, I don't no disrespect to the people who wanted to be on the date. You didn't give me that option, and that pissed me off. So I stopped playing.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
don't have any agency of the of the
right.
character. It feels like.
Well, yeah, and it's like, but that's why when someone said that this seems like a therapy session for the people who are doing this, it's like, I don't care. You can be whatever you want. I truly don't care, but I don't want you to force whatever you're into onto me. You can live your life however the hell you want. Leave me out of it. So I didn't really appreciate like them doing that. Now they can probably say that well, that, like, if you're gay or whatever and you could deal with these games, and it's like that happens to them all the time. I'm like, okay, you're talking about 97% of the population is this way and 3% is this way. Like, I'm sorry to tell you that it's not that you're not normal, but in that sense, you're not of the norm. Right? You
That's
get what I'm
that's
saying?
a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not, no disrespect to you, but right. So it's like if you have it's like if you can't go outside because the sun, and because it's like you got like sensitive skin or whatever, and then you could complain that there's too many commercials for sunblock or whatever on television of people getting suntans. It's like, okay, but everybody else's this is their life, and you're the different one. Like, it sucks, but it is what it is. So, all right, that's enough pontificating. Bioware allegedly discriminating against men and only hiring people who will parrot and embrace the ideology that the higher ups demand. This article is on that Park Place, and it came out on the 31st. It's a rumor that alleges that Bioware is discriminating against men when it comes to hiring and only hiring individuals who will parrot and yada yada yada. The rumor comes from a YouTube indie Mayan who alleges this information comes from former both. What the hell, dude? What's up with, like? Have you noticed that when you read these articles, the right,
There's a
like,
lot
I don't
of
know who proofreads
I don't think it
bad,
is
terrible,
bad grammar,
terrible grammar. Yeah, it's just like horrible,
sense of
man.
structure
All right, from both
from
former
former
and current.
from former
All right,
both former.
right. So, okay. He shared that one of the employees who currently works at BioWare informed him that the current BioWare is more woke than anyone's thinking right now. Like they're so identity politically driven over there right now that this very instant that whatever you think it is okay. Apparently, it's more so about getting more women into these companies than anything else. Than anyone else, being pretty much excluded entirely, uh, unless they identify some form of non whatever and so on. At Bioware, anyway, as I'm told, they're only interested in hiring people who can control within the company. They want essentially what can only be considered as a cultist that parrot and embrace the ideology that the higher ups at Bioware demand. The reason for that is simple, right? And I'll tell you exactly what the reasoning behind that is. Um, every person who made BioWare is gone. They all left for
Your
whatever. For
audio went out, Jovan.
oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Am I still? Can you hear me?
And your window closed.
What the hell, man? All right, hold on. Okay. Same. Hold on. All right, just you stay. Let me back off. All right, did that help?
Unless it's just me.
Oh,
I
great.
still can't hear you.
All right, hold on. Okay. Am I back? Can you see me?
Maybe it's me. Hold on.
No. What the hell? All right, hold on. Let me look at it up on the YouTubes. So Ricky's having a problem, and now I'm having a problem. All right.
Maybe that was me. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hey, I can hear you, hearing me, hearing you.
Excellent.
Gotta love technology, man. All right, so back what I was saying. So everyone like more and more of these companies, the one who make all the games that you used to like, they're like the people get tired of doing it, and then they eventually leave, and then it gets bought out by some corporation who hires someone who essentially what they've eventually wind up doing is just hiring more people who are like them. So then you get people who don't think like them and they get ostracized and get pushed out of the company. And then eventually what you wind up with is a company that can't make any games.
That sounds about right.
Right. And so you ever notice that when you look at like when they do a behind the scenes like group picture, it is all women. The vast majority of people who buy video games are men. And it's like you have a handful of women who know how to make games that men want to play. The rest don't. So what they wind up making is stuff that they like. So they make something that they like, and
And
then
then it
nobody
bombs.
buys it.
Yeah.
Right. So nobody buys it because you're not making games for your customer base. Then you throw in a bunch of feminists and green-haired people, weirdos, and they them and all that stuff in there, and they just make stuff that they like. So that's why you get a Saints Row game where they don't like the Saints Row customers. So they take all the stuff that the Saints Row customers like out of it. They make this woke ass weird Gen Z freaking I don't know what the hell this shit was, where everybody's sitting around whining about making money or whatever, and then surprise it don't fucking sell. It's like because just like we were talking about before, we just want to shoot shit. I want to go to one location, kill everything there, and then go on to the next one. That's
This
it.
is this is similar to the some of the franchises, right? Like in movies
Same thing.
where someone like, they yeah, they put their own things that they want in there, not what the
Mm-hmm.
fan base wants. They don't
Yes.
respect the source material, and then they complain when it doesn't work
Yeah,
or doesn't sell.
there's like a diagram of that where it's like there's a group who like a thing, right? Then you got another group that's saying, well, you need to be more inclusive. So this group is like, okay. So they make it a little bit more inclusive. And then the other group who wanted to be more inclusive, they push for more and they push for more. And then eventually those people, a lot of those people leave. And then the people who are left, they get outnumbered by the people who are pushing for inclusivity. And then they go, well, why don't you go make your own thing? So then those people leave, they make their own thing. And then you start to circle back around again because they completely destroy the shit because they don't know how to make it. And because they don't know how to make it, all they can do is get in and root it out and destroy it because they don't know how to make anything. And then it's like they just assume that somehow people are just going to accept whatever it is that they're trying to push, like whatever. And when that doesn't happen, it's not the fact that they don't seem to think that what they want is an issue. No, it must be the people.
Me good, you bad.
Yeah. Like, we want to tell you about the whole analogy of you have a steak restaurant. One of your kids decide that like people should eat liver instead. So you pass on this very popular steak restaurant, and your kid takes over and he starts adding liver to the menu. First he adds it to the menu, nobody orders it. You say, well, they really should eat liver. So he started adding the liver to whenever you order a steak, you get a little piece of liver. And then it gets a little bigger and bigger and bigger. And then he sits around and can't figure out why people aren't coming to the steak restaurant anymore. They don't want liver.
It must be the people, not me.
Right. Yeah, it must be the people. They can't handle the liver. Like, nah, bro, I just don't want. I know what I want. So why don't you just give me what I want? That's why I keep saying over and over again. People want to give you money. Just let them give you fucking money. It's not that complicated. So, well, we're about 32 minutes in it. I've been kind of pushy for it a little bit. So we probably should start getting into some of the topics that I chose. All right. You want to watch The Skeleton Crew?
Okay, sure.
You sound like you're very excited about that.
This is the one that came out recently, right?
Well, it's the next Star Warsy thing. All right, so it's the next Star Warsy thing. So
I heard about it.
Yeah, be prepared to be blown away.
What are you in for? What are you in for?
I found something buried in the woods.
Dad.
This is unacceptable. Do you understand?
What do you think it is? Don't touch anything.
Flight of the Navigator.
We're lost. Really lost. Stay together. We just need some directions home.
Come on, kid. Pay up. Whoa. Where'd you two find an old Republic credit?
Over here, quick. I'll get you home. We'll make a partnership. But we have to move fast. I need you to take the controls.
Okay.
Neil? Neil?
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
Something's wrong.
They're not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Oh, be warned of booby traps. Pirates and mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up. No matter what.
It seems like a coming of life story.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Star Wars.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I still have to try to figure out this camera, but I just go like this.
No worries.
Sorry
Dave.
about that.
No. We just been we had our own technical difficulties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The people who make Star Wars don't understand Star Wars.
Oh, we know that already.
The Star Wars universe is thousands of years old. Where do you go to get lost at? That was Lost in Space. You got the little girl boss, little girl. Then you got the ambiguously diverse, marginalized little kid.
You know what I think is that they try to make this movie for more kids rather than adults. So they already know they lost all the adults for Star Wars, so they're gonna go with little kids.
But you don't get kids without their parents. That's how Star Wars
No,
works.
but I'm saying like a lot of kids like watching Disney Plus. So
right, I get that.
I'm just saying I'm trying to think like where they're thinking.
Where they're coming from.
Yeah, but
that's their goal. Like, oh, we already lost adults, so the kids like watching Disney Plus. So let's try to do something like
for the kids.
Yeah.
So you just take like some random Disney show from the 90s and stick Star Wars on top of it. Because that's what it looked like.
I mean, majority of people watch Disney Plus are kids. The majority, I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, we're like one of the first things we talked about was we still don't know what the hell like the cable companies are trying or contemplating spinning off some of their cable channels into some other thing. Like it didn't really touch on it. It just said that like they're gonna do it. So that's what this sounds like. Is like you get a bunch of people who don't understand how kids work nowadays. They don't understand how like a lot of this stuff works, and they're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Yeah, they're just trying to add more stuff that you're not interested in. They just want to raise the price, but I got rid of it. So
I see where Ricky's coming from because I think this appeals to like probably the like the what age is this? Maybe like the 7 to like 12-year-olds. And so it's like, oh, this seems like if for kids that age, it's like, oh, this seems like a fun adventure show.
Yeah.
And it has a Star Wars license on it, so
they're hoping that works. So
yeah.
All right. Well, my reference is the fact that like, I got two kids in the house. They didn't know how to work a TV at 7. So it's like you got to do something that this is why I keep saying that they don't understand Star Wars. Star Wars is introduced to the younger generation by people who are fans of it. It's just kind of the only time where you got kids who were into Star Wars was when it first came out in like 1978 when I was 6. So we got into Star Wars because it was new. It was a new thing. This is not a new thing. It is flustered and flooded with all kind of crap that is similar to that. So it's like I don't know. It comes out on the 3rd. Do you two have any interest in watching this?
Probably not.
I might just check it out, just the first episode.
For the first one?
I want to just check it, just to check it out.
Okay.
I'm already playing for Disney Plus. Why not just try it out?
It looks like a free. All right, it looks like but yeah, it's very Disney. It's a Disney show. Like remember the Disney Channel on cable? They were like superhero stuff. Now, my godson was into that shit, so maybe it'll work because he wasn't interested in that. But that was on television. And, they just put it on and it came on. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work. But it looks very well. It's not for me, so that's probably why it didn't look very interesting to me. So.
Yeah, definitely something for the kids. But I see where you're coming from too. That kids won't be able to watch this without their parents.
All right, so it's a little weird.
Yeah.
All right. Did you guys watch the latest episode of The Penguin?
I haven't watched the new one still.
Is it like
I'll watch it tonight?
All right,
I watched episode 6, not the latest one, the one that came today. I didn't watch today's one.
yeah, I'm up to 6 too. I didn't watch the one that just came out. Still interesting, man. I am curious as to what happens next, given how where it ended at.
I
So it's
liked
like,
it.
yeah, it's like Oz gets good news and bad news all at the same damn time.
Is that the one where Sophia is just staring at the penguin's mom
Yeah,
at the end?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's like, was it Squid? Squid gets killed. Spoiler. Probably should put up the.
Oh, a little late there, buddy.
Hey, I'm sorry. All right, spoiler alert. So
There you go.
So I knew when he's having that conversation with dude and he was threatening, and it's like, bro, you are fishing in waters that are too deep for you. So either somebody's and you're gonna get killed for it, and I knew that was gonna happen. It's like I wasn't.
Me too.
Mom is like, yeah. So when he said I was gonna kill you, I'm like, yeah, I was gonna kill him. It's like, bro, no, you're not gonna. You thought like. What did you think you was gonna do? Manhandle into this dude's organization, have him give you a job by threatening his mother, even though you didn't know that it was his mother. You would have just shot him. So, having your boy do it, it's like I wonder which direction he's gonna go. So what direction you think he's gonna go? You think he's gonna? Because like when Oz comforted him and said it's gonna get better, you think he's gonna go in that direction, or he's gonna like realize that he's over his head and go look for his girl?
I think she'll still stay with them.
Okay.
I think he's all in.
Yeah,
He's gonna really buy into it.
Yeah, he wants to be better than his dad.
Yeah, because that essentially that's what I got out of him was his dad had the girl, but it wasn't enough, and he gets wiped out because he didn't go follow his dream. So yeah, that's what makes this damn shit so good, man.
I have to say that speech that Oz gave was very inspiring.
But the truth is, like, they don't even know your fucking name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where he has teamed up all the like the leader of the criminal gang in the Gotham City.
Yeah, all the little stuff is like they like you let these two old groups do this thing to you, and they don't even know what your fucking name is.
Right.
It's like they're telling you what to do and all this other stuff. It's like, bro.
He's basically giving them a chance to be their own bosses.
Yeah. It's like everyone get their own area. It's like you don't have to fucking work. And the fact the way he said it is like all them fat cats, they don't like each other, but they work together to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you ain't gotta be best friends. Just you do this section, we do this section, you do this section. Stop all this overboard stuff. Then he got the power. Like Oz did more for the neighborhood than most people did. He got the power cut back on.
That's true.
Oh, because he went to that politician. Remember when he grabbed his nose with the pliers?
Yeah, it's like, bro, I know what your ass is into. So it's like, yeah, I will come and kill your ass, and I'll spread all of the little nonsense that your ass is into. So you better go get the power cut back on. Sure enough, power cuts back on. It's amazing how that works. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward episode. The only thing I didn't, I don't know. It's like I watched the behind the scenes thing that happened at the end where they explained why old girl gave up. Like why she didn't get she didn't kill that girl, like the stripper or whatever she was, prostitute, his ex. And it was like the reason why she didn't do it is because she actually has a family.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like when
they didn't reveal that in the show, did they?
No, she don't have she don't have like a blood family, but she has a
Oh,
family.
like a family. Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody gave her up, and the only person who
Yeah.
gave her up it was somebody that she told to give her up.
Right.
And and the fact that she was like, so everybody had everybody's back. She's like, look, if you kill me, don't go after nobody, my girls. Just leave them alone. They
Oh,
had
you're
nothing to do
talking
with it.
about the prostitute that they always had her back.
Yeah, so all of
That
them.
was
So
like
it's
their
like,
family, right?
yeah, they're family.
Yeah, they
And
always they had her back and she had their back.
I get
right,
what you mean. Yeah. And then Sophia, how many times did you say family in that episode?
bro, give him what the
They all backstabbed her.
We all
Yeah.
backstab her. So.
yeah. So given episode what 4, it's like, bro, I can see why you don't like your family. Just like shit. Now her family probably did that because they were scared of her dad. But at the end of the day, I guess it don't really matter to her. And she keeps getting mad at Oz because he killed her brother. I'm like, bro, you just killed your entire family.
I forgot, how did the dad die? I forgot.
Oh, he got shot by he got shot at the end of the Batman.
Okay.
It was the Riddler shot him, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the Riddler.
They
Because
just mentioned that he died, right? And the penguin was
because they arrested. Yeah, at the end of the movie, he got that. Like they was arresting him, and he was walking outside, and he got shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember they went across the street, and the Batman didn't realize that the dude who's doing all this shit looked like right across the street from where he was looking at. He just didn't notice. Yeah, so yeah, we're like, okay, it is year 2, so he ain't the greatest detective yet. So yeah, and but that happened in the Batman. Her dad was a piece of work. So everybody in this show is a piece of work.
But her dad killed her mom, right? Sophia's mom.
Yeah, but the guy that she shot at the meeting, he implied that she had problems and that she might have killed herself. So her dad was killing other women.
Yeah, he was killing other women, but I was trying to figure out that he just faked her like a suicide, but I know she was having depression and all stuff like that.
Right, because she was trapped in this relationship with this abusive dude, and she can't really leave because if she leaves the 2 kids with him.
Oh, she'll get killed for sure.
Right. So it's like, so she can't leave, so she'll have no idea how to get out of it. And some, people get depressed enough, and there you go. Like, so yeah, dude, it's like a really, really good show. And I can't I think I'm gonna watch this episode tomorrow, the one that came out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're getting close to the penultimate episode. Like, I don't know, how many episodes do we have? 8. So we got 2 more. So this is the penultimate episode. I can see that because he is ramping up his connections to the underworld. They like Sophia and the other dude have no idea how he's doing what he's doing.
It's almost like the mafia. Remember, like the main head dies, and then all the underbosses, they don't have respect for the son and all this. It starts everybody start breaking up, trying to be their own bosses. Straight like a mobster movie.
Yeah, dude, it is the origin story of the Penguin. I would have never thought that is something that I would want to see.
Yeah, like their own lieutenants start, fighting against each other, wants the power. It's basically a straight out mobster movie.
Well, the 2 big families squashed all the other people, right? So now the 2 big families are weak because the Carmines are all gone except for Sophia, and she changed her name to Gigante. And Oz took care of the son and wife of the other dude, and a lot of them are locked up. So hey, all the little ants and that's how when you are hurt, that's how all the little ants and whatnot can take you down. And it's like that's what's next,
Yeah, there's Penguin is the #1 series in HBO right now.
Dude, because it's actually good.
Or Max, however you call it.
The way they write it is that they don't tell you why something is happening. They just show it to you. Like, and you figure that out, just like why he walks the way that he walks. They didn't actually tell you that. And then like the nickname, there's you can see who says it and who. So I can see why he ain't feeling like that family all that much either. Kind of thing. It's like, bro, it's like I ain't care about none of y'all. I'm just trying to get mine. Now that conversation he had with his mom was kind of rough. It's like she wakes up enough to realize what's happening with her, and she don't want to live like that no more.
You know, like at that point, she still had the self-awareness.
Yeah, it comes and goes, and you know when it comes in, just like shit. I don't want to. I guess it's like when people get an NDA, like at work. It's like there's a level to where they want to be at, and she don't want to be at this level no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, dude, it's all real stuff, and everyone is flushed out. That book that I've been telling you about, the one thing that it emphasizes is you need to find out why your characters do what they do. Like, what is their reasoning for it? It helps you, like, when you write a story, like they're part of the story. And the one thing that it also tells you, and why people act like they do, is that your brain, where it creates you as the hero of the reality that it's telling. So that's why when you remember stuff, you remember it differently than like somebody else will say, well, this happened, and you don't remember it that way because you are subconsciously putting yourself in the best light as possible.
So, yeah.
What do you think at the last? You think Sophia's gonna kill her, Penguin's mom?
I don't know. The fact that she hesitated is
makes
like,
you staring at her mom.
Yeah, is she's like looking at them, and I don't know. Maybe she can't kill his mom because it's like she just seeing her.
Maybe
mom.
he's thinking of her mom.
Yeah, I don't know. The next episode, she can walk in and whack both of them. So it's like you don't know because she is unpredictable. So
Well,
I know
I want to see it, so I'm gonna watch it tonight. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I know. From what I understand in the comic book, she is a mob boss. She's the mob boss of her of her own family, and I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't even know how this plays into the overall Batman mythos of the Matt Reeves Batman, because it doesn't play in at all to the DC Studios Batman. Because they still haven't casted that guy yet, but they're skipping over the other Robins, and they're going to start with his Damian.
Oh,
yeah, it's mostly because that's James Gunn's favorite Robin.
Oh, okay.
So, but he can still like cast Dick.
What happened to Robin, man? They haven't showed anything. Remember DC anything? What Robin disappear? Batman and Robin. Remember Robin?
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. The Robin that they're gonna have is gonna be his son. It's Batman's son. They're skipping over. There's Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. So there's three. So there's three of them before Damian. So like I don't particularly like that because you need to start out with Dick, and then you build your way up to the other three, because he has interactions with those other ones because he essentially is like their big brother. They're all lost family to various degrees, and he's their big brother. So you got to introduce the big brother before you introduce all the little brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going out of order. And the only reason they're doing that is because that is his favorite friggin' Robin. Now, it is not a lot of people's favorite Robin. There's a lot of people who don't like Damian. I actually like Damian, but a lot of people don't. So, they like the other ones a little bit better. So that's why I'm curious as to what they're gonna actually do, because they've already come out and said that a lot of stuff that they announced they're not actually going to make.
That is interesting. Yeah.
I don't know, but if we're going to transition, we should talk about there is a new ultimate version of Nick Fury and the Wolverine. And Ricky, I showed Ricky the article, but you'd probably be surprised of what they look like. What do you think that Nick Fury looks like? Okay, remember the last ultimate Nick Fury is Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, I imagine he has an eye patch, right?
Well, yeah, Nick Fury has an eye patch. So, but what do you think he looks like?
He's bald.
With the afro?
No. I was actually surprised when I saw this. So let me share this picture. Yeah, I was actually very surprised and optimistic for real, though. It just actually made me a bit more optimistic. That is the new ultimate Nick Fury. He looks like the regular Nick Fury, the one from the original,
from the cartoon.
Yeah, he looks like he looks like what he's supposed to look like. Not friggin' Samuel Jackson.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Dude, they went as far.
This Wolverine, is what the different Wolverine.
Yeah, so the ultimate, like the new Ultimate Universe, is interesting because, all right, so in the original Ultimate Universe, Reed Richards became a bad guy. They made him into like this cuck freaking thing, dude who went out and started doing like crazy stuff, right? And he eventually turned evil, and it's just like this whole thing. So he went over to this other universe and he made it so that Spider-Man didn't become Spider-Man as a kid. All right. He eventually gets to, like, something happens and he eventually gets the spider powers, but at this point in his life, he's mid-30s and married to Mary Jane and has 2 children. So that's where it takes place from that. So he's Spider-Man, so he has costume powers, all that stuff, but he's doing it as a married man. And because he wasn't Spider-Man as a kid, his Uncle Ben is still alive and like best friends with J. Jonah Jameson or something like that. He's like a reporter for the Daily Bugle. So he's an adult life.
So what is it gonna be? A cartoon series?
No, well, that is a comic book. So this looks like this. All right, share the first look at the December's Ultimate Universe 1 year in number 1, a one shot, and it promises to reveal more about the Ultimate Universe's Nick Fury and Wolverine. Okay. Among the covers are a group of variants with regular Ultimate Series cover artists, yada yada yada. A depiction of the Maker, and that the Maker is Reed Richards, like the evil version of Reed Richards. So, okay. All right. And then before seeing preview pages, we get a glimpse behind the curtain as Nick Fury's role in the Maker's world order is revealed. With their master's return imminent, the Maker's Council convened to discuss the sudden rise of superheroes determined to bring hope to their corrupt universe. Since the Ultimate Universe began, we've learned more and more about its twisted origins, and now Dean's Camp and Jonas Scarf reveal some of his darker truths yet. Plus, we'll meet the Maker's ultimate weapon, the Winter Soldier, in a prelude to Chris Cordon and Ultimate Wolverine. All right. On crafting the issue, said the Ultimate Universe, 1 year in, my goal is simple: create an entryway for new readers into the Ultimate Universe. Reward longtime readers, especially those who have wanted more connective tissue between the Ultimate books, and set the stage for next year's stories we build towards the return of the Maker. All of this telling a complete and satisfying and one issue story from the bad guy's point of view. It's going to be dark, it's going to be cruel, and thanks to Jonas Scarf, it's going to be beautiful. So this is Nick Fury, And okay, it's weird. Is that blood or it looks like blood? Okay, so that's the Wolverine, and this is the maker. That's Reed Richards.
Where do you buy comic books now?
You can buy them at comic book shops. All right, so so these are the different covers. Okay, Black Panther. No, you can buy. They still got comic book stores, dude. So you can still buy that stuff. Come on. Did I disappear again?
You're still there.
All right, man. Dude, this computer's driving me crazy. But because right now it is the large amounts of ads on all of these damn websites.
It's so egregious.
So it looks pretty cool. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass. No, so there are still somewhat interesting stories where they're doing an original take. The thing that surprised me that much is that they decided to go with the original Nick Fury, which I was actually pretty surprised about. What I'm optimistic about is just hopefully that means that maybe we're coming out of this woke nonsense.
You think they might have that Secret War Nick Fury as a white guy come out?
I don't know.
In the movie?
In the movie, no, it's gonna be Samuel. It's gonna be Samuel Jackson. We're not like Marvel is. I think they're changing because they lost too much damn money, so they have to. Dude, I'm serious. It's like everything they've been putting out has been flop after flop after flop. So
I don't know. You think so? Because they try to bring that girl that did Miss Marvel, and she wants more money. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Even though her movie sucked, she wants more money. The actress.
You talk about Ms. Marvel or Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
She's asking for more money, and her movie sucked.
I don't know. What I think is I see.
I mean, Marvel could live without her.
Oh no, dude! It's like they've been trying to make her character work in the comic books for decades.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could just get rid of her. They don't need her.
They didn't need her in the friggin' Infinity War, or she would just happen to be in Endgame. It was.
That's the one where Thanos just hit her and then she just disappeared.
Right, and then everybody, and basically everybody in the movie theater that I was in was cheering. And this was the beginning of the people being over the girl boss stuff. So then you come out with 3 girl bosses in a movie. It's like, dude, I don't want to watch this. Please.
So you still think they'll put the Black Panther sister?
I don't know. They should recast him. It's like the character is not. It's not like the character is unpopular, so they should just recast him because that's what.
Yeah, he has a son. Remember at the end, he has a son.
Screw that! Don't even do the son. Just recast the damn character. Pick someone. Seriously.
Yeah, man.
No, it's just because so what your boy wanted was him to be like how James Bond is, where he plays the character for 3 or 4 movies, then he decides he don't want to do it no more. You cast another person to
like Batman.
Yeah, Batman, like so on and so forth. That's basically what he wanted. And Marvel, for whatever reason, decided to go, nah, because they wanted to put all women. More women. I mean, Kevin Feige said it himself. We're going to have more women than men. You did that, and people didn't go see it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows Marvel's for guys, majority.
That's why it was like these Disney purchased Star Wars and Marvel because they had all girl brands and they wanted boy brands, and they proceeded to put people in power who turned both of those things into girl brands.
It's like you're trying to put a girl brand, you're trying to put more guys into it. So the girls are going to be pissed off, you know?
No, the thing is like the women who are into these things are into them because of what they are. So whenever you go out and you try to appeal to them just for like whatever, they don't like it because that's not why they were into the thing in the first place. So they actually like, the stuff as it is. So what you're doing is just you're making a product that nobody wants. And just like when we were talking about video games earlier, it's the same shit. It's like the companies, video game companies, are filled up with women who don't know how to make games for men, and that's what their primary customer base is. So they keep putting out a product nobody wants.
And they're shocked when it doesn't sell.
Yeah, they're just stunned, and then they all like, no, do you remember the Charlie's Angel thing where one article said using the same picture, basically this is not for men. And then like 2 weeks later, why did men not go see this movie? It's like you got what you asked for. And then when you just don't like what you got, which is like, hey, I can't say that I've never done that. You don't really want to deal with like whatever. But all right. So talked about we basically making our way through the list of topics. So the last one is the Game of Thrones like movie. Are you interested in the Game of Thrones movie?
Oh yeah, big time.
Wow. Okay. So this is a rumor, I think. Actually, it's not a. Oh no, I don't think it's an early development. So this may
based off a story.
Well, we'll see. According to a new report, do you see it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. According to a new report, we should get ready to see Westeros on the big screen. That comes via a new Hollywood Reporter article today, which says Warner Brothers has been quietly developing a feature film based on George R.R. Martin's fantasy universe, originally adapted in HBO's mega hit Game of Thrones. The report notes that at least one film is in the works, hinting that WB could have even more cinematic plans for the franchise. Still, it should be pointed out that the project is apparently in very early development with no creatives or cast attached yet, so it's a dream. Forget the winds of winter, the winds of Hollywood are fickle. The film development can take a very long time. Still, it's big news that the WB is considering capitalizing on one of his biggest hits ever by taking it to the big screen. And given the fact that most of those actors aren't really doing anything right now, you could actually just make it take place somewhere in between like the end of season 6 before it went completely to shit.
Oh, when Jon Snow goes to the wirelings.
Well, all right. So it's no secret that the studio has been keen on keeping building out Martin's universe on screen, though up until now it's been limited to television. After Game of Thrones wrapped in 2019, HBO debuted its first spinoff, a Targaryen-focused House of Dragon, in 2022. A second season aired earlier this year, and the third is set to begin production in early 2025. So that means we're not going to get that till at least 2026. Outside the House of Dragon, though, Warner Brothers' quest for more Game of Thrones has been a mixed one in development on the development side. In 2020, the studio confirmed that it's completely scrapped a prequel starring Naomi Watts, while the Kit Harington recently said a planned Jon Snow spinoff is currently on the shelf, citing a struggle to find the right story to tell.
I remember that.
Like,
I know which one. Aegon the Conqueror. They should make that one, the movie.
Yeah.
How the Targaryens took over Westeros with Aegon the Conqueror. That would have been bad.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Like, how would you do? Like, you'd have to go from how you started.
3 movies. Make it 3 movies.
Yeah, because the first one would have to be how he got started. And building into the second one is all action, as how threequels are supposed to be, and the resolution is the final one of him actually conquering Westeros.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. On the other hand, another spinoff, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, set to arrive in early 2025. We'll be watching that. And despite some of George R.R. Martin's complaints, House of Dragon has performed solidly among critics and fans and consistently drawn strong viewership, even with a slight season 2 drop. While we wait for more info on the movie, check out. Okay. All right. So we are all interested in that. Do you have confidence in them? To be honest,
they're just testing the waters, I think.
Yeah.
This can go really well or really bad.
Right. We could have another instance of let's build up Jon Snow to fight the dude and then not have him do it.
It could go that way.
I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. And you can also decide that all of your principal characters have immense plot armor.
I have an idea. How about what was her name? The one that got killed by Jon Snow. What's her name? The queen. Her name already.
Daenerys. Yeah.
When Drogon takes her, she gets reincarnated, comes back, and then the White Walker becomes alive again. You know, trying to change the story again, but how these guys messed it up.
Or you can do it. You can pull a Dallas. You can do a Dallas very easy. You know what that is?
No.
She wakes up on the march and realizes that the last 2 years of her life was a dream. And that shit never happened. She was
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That will clean up this mess.
Oh yeah. And then then you got
disappointed, man.
Dude, pretty much even the stars were disappointed.
Yeah, so I was disappointed with this shit.
I still remember when at that table reading.
They were shocked and stunned. They're like, "What the hell is this shit?"
Oh my gosh! They were like,
"I think you should send a letter to Warner Brothers and give them the advice."
Look, although there's a bunch of woke stuff happening, a lot of it is stuff that they had in the pipe and they have to get rid of. At this point, they have to realize that if you put out shit product, people will not go see it. Period. Those days of you just slapping some label on some shit and putting it out there and having them people come out and checking it out, those days are done and over. That ain't happening no more. So you gotta, and it's gonna take you a minute to get people back. So the next Star Wars TV show, like the Skeleton Crew, could be the greatest television that anybody has ever seen, and it'll probably take like a 4 or 5 episodes before people actually
start talking about it.
Yeah. No, like the Penguin. And like some people were talking about the Penguin at first. Then probably a lot of word of mouth. It's like, hey, you can check it out. So then, picked up. Same shit. When you shit the bed, it takes a while to clean it up.
You know what HBO and Max should do is like this year there was 2, those House and Dragon and Penguin, right? Good series. They need at least 3 a year so people keep the app going. You know what I mean? At least 8 episodes, that's 2 months.
Yeah.
8 months. So, or make it 3 months or something where the people can still keep the app and start watching shows. Oh, this one after this one this one's gonna come up.
Dude,
that's what they have to learn.
You know what the crazy part is? This stuff, it used to be 22 fucking episodes. You used to get 22 episodes of Star Trek and like an hour-long thing. You got like a 24 hours of TV to watch.
Yeah, because I think because of the money too.
No, it is better writers, like more thought into from the top down, from the people in charge and everyone down, actually putting out an actual product that people want to think. But it was like sitcoms of 22 episodes, like hell, Dallas and all that shit was all 22 episodes, 23, 24. So you got
they should at least make it, for me, they should at least make it 12 episodes.
I'm quite sure the actors who can't find work would probably love that.
Just make it 12 episodes, and you keep it for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then do another show. The same thing. So for the whole year, you have something people are willing to pay for it.
Well, they have to get rid of all the blue-haired freaky people who are in charge of all this stuff in order for that to happen. The ones who keep
HBO is much better than what they're doing now.
Yeah,
compared to the other way, but everybody else.
Yeah, but they still got some stuff. You need to shake that tree all the way out. Disney, I have no hope for because that's basically the bulk of their staff right now. So it's just but it's in everything. It's like, all right, about maybe a month ago, I did an article on. I read an article about how like white writers are not getting any work in science fiction. They're just not even checking for them at all, because they're trying to find marginalized people so that they can hear their voices. And it's like that typically pisses me off, because the people who say that, basically what you're saying is those people aren't good enough to actually compete with the white dudes. So therefore we got to take the white dudes off the table in order for them to compete, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that sounds like racism.
It's just whoever's the best writer, that's it. Doesn't matter their nationality or whatever, as long as they're the best writer.
Right. So I had a comment on the video. What it do was basically, it was the same old stuff. You know, if you're a white dude who says how this is messed up, you're racist. And if you're a black dude and you say this, then you're trying to appease white people or some shit like that. It's like the same article. I mean, the same argument over and over and over again. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is the people who think like this, they don't see it as like they're being a victim. They see it in like this weird way where they're evening they're leveling the playing field kind of thing. And so in order to do that, it's like you can cheat and steal and all this stuff to level the playing field. Those are the people who are in charge of all of this stuff. So they don't actually see what they're doing is wrong. It's like they somehow think that magically it'll even everything out and it'll go back to where you have all these diverse voices. Most of which don't seem to understand is that we've had a lot of diverse voices already. You just got to go look for, that type of stuff. It's like, it's the same reason why when they make like these Disney movies, they got to race change people. Completely ignore the fact that there are plenty of stories about various subjects that are geared towards like different cultures that you could actually make something about. It's like I was telling Elton, like one of the things that my mother is watching on YouTube a lot is African movies. They have subtitles or whatever. So it's like you can there's all plenty of stories, but for some reason, the people who are in charge of all this stuff, they don't see that any validity in those things. It's like they see them as lesser than.
See, and that's kind of like insulting too, because if you have to use another creative license and race swap people and all that stuff, it's like, oh, well, how come you just can't write or use your own stories?
No, but this is the mindset. So they don't see it like that. So that's why I said, dude, like in order for Disney to fix this, they got to get rid of those people, because you're not there. No matter what you say to them, they're not going to change because they don't see it the way that you see it. So
I don't have no hope, but
no, look, they're losing money in the parks. They're losing money on all these different places. And
the park is because it's fucking expensive, man.
Right, but ridiculous. The thing it is that plus it is all the other stuff. You're getting rid of stuff that people like, and you're charging them too much, so they're getting less value for what you're offering. And at the same time, the Universal Studios is opening up something that's going to be bigger and better, better, and new. So it's like you have to clean house. You got basically everyone needs to do what Elon Musk did with Twitter. And it's like I just rewatched a clip of he was talking with Tucker Carlson about how many people who got rid of Twitter, and it was like 80%. So Tucker Carlson. Now this has happened like when X first, like before he named it X and all that stuff. And he basically what he said is like, it's like, well, you know, it seems to be working fine. It's like, yeah, it turns out that if you're not making a activist app, you don't need that many damn people to do it. It's just like you're just trying to make it function. So one, they can get rid of a lot of people that they don't need, who is not helping them in the long run. But eventually you and start hiring people based on merit. So then you eventually get stuff that people will like, and then they will give you money for it. And it applies to everything, to Halo Studios and who they hired some big fat black chick with purple hair who's in charge of hiring people. And then you shocked when all she hires is people who think like she does, because she doesn't see that the way that she thinks is incorrect. So she don't see that it's degrading that you are saying that marginalized people can't compete with white people, because she don't see it as what she's saying is that she thinks the white people are better. She don't see it that way. So that's what but even though that's what she's saying, she just don't see it in that way. So until they clean house, none of this shit gonna get any better.
Gone are those days of meritocracy.
No, it still exists. It exists in smaller companies who can't afford to do that. Like you have a small company, you got to make money, dude. So you hiring people who are talking about all of that kind of stuff is a luxury from having monumental long-term success. You get a hugely fat population because you have an abundance of food. If you don't have an abundance of food, you don't have a large fat population. And that's the thing and that's why the whole saying is, you know, strong man makes good times make weak man make bad times make strong men.
Yeah,
That's why that works like that.
I heard that before.
Yeah, but that's why that works like that, because everything becomes easy. So once it becomes easy, people get lazy and then they get entitled. So you get laziness and entitlement all at the same time, and that makes everything terrible, because everyone is not looking out for the best interest of the product or the group. They're looking at the best interest for themselves, what they can get out of it.
You're talking about LeBron James?
No, I ain't talking about damn LeBron James. But I am talking about everything in general. And
okay, it almost sounds like what you're saying is some of LeBron James, the product.
Yeah. Look, you mentioned LeBron James and we lost 2 damn people, man. All right. No, but I'm just talking about how everything sucks. So that is why I'm actually encouraged that they use the white Nick Fury in that comic book. So that tells me that's at least somewhere in at Marvel, they're not completely batshit crazy. It's like, this is what this dude looks like. If you're gonna use this character, then okay, that's what you do. So hopefully they'll get around to actually making new characters that are based on like the merit of the person. So the character is a good character, just like the Penguin. A very well written show, so everybody talking about it. We about to get more Ahsoka, Ironheart, and all that stuff that they got to get rid of. So what is actually coming out next year? Besides those, I think I saw something when they were talking about it. Let's see if I can find it.
The Game of Thrones, the night.
No, it was something else I was looking at. Where they actually gave a mention of what stuff that Disney is working on right now, but I think I lost it. No, the Game of Thrones it is basically ether right now, so it's not exactly a thing yet. So it may not even actually happen. So I can't find this.
No, I'm talking about the series next year.
Oh yeah.
Talking about the series that one's gonna come out.
So at least, hopefully that's good. So I mean, the last one is good, so I am optimistic. I'm actually getting more and more optimistic about certain stuff because I think we're heading toward the end of this nonsense. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's like like all right, all the stars of the Avengers film decided to do some stupid ass political thing for, hey, we like Kamala thing, and they got mocked for it because people don't like it's not about you anymore. You aren't selling shit, to be honest. Because outside of Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. really wasn't pushing that many movies. Did you have any interest in The Rock's Christmas movie that's coming out?
No.
All right. So their names aren't pushing anything. So everyone is taking everything for what it looks like, the actual product. So if the product looks like shit, they ain't fucking with it. And that hopefully will lead to them to make better decisions about stuff. So don't know. Hopefully everything works out. All right. I am getting a little tired, so I think we should end that on that note. So what you guys? All right. So what you guys are gonna get into? Even though it feels like it's 11:30, but it's actually 10:30. So it's gonna take a few days for that to work. It's. I hate daylight savings time, dude. Even though I did enjoy the extra hour of sleep today.
Yeah.
It pisses me off the fact that we voted to not do this shit, and the politicians decided, we don't care.
I voted no on this proposition like years ago. I'm like, wait,
yeah, 2016, and they were like, nah. So we're gonna do it anyway. Who cares what y'all want? I'm like, that's not how this supposed to work, man. But apparently that's kind of how it works. This particular thing, we can't do shit about it. It is what it is. So, what are you guys gonna get into then?
Check out the Penguin.
Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? I may start it and see how it goes and see if I can get through it. All right. So on that note, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to the 1 or 2 people who decided to stick with us through this very choppy, very bouncy, technological issue driven episode.
2024, baby.
So we promise to be better in the future. And join us again. We do this at the same time every Sunday. All right. So on behalf of my friends and myself, we're out. Later.
Peace.
See ya.